Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick, and we are going to be doing a mock draft today on Yahoo, which is a half-point PPR league. We are picking 12th in a 12-team league. We got about 30 seconds to the start of this game, and we are going to be using my app, which is My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players today. So you can see here that this is going to be starting very quickly, and my app, which is located at my website, ffmaverick.com. You can access it from any web-connected device. I invite you to go there, check it out. You can access a free version of the app, which is limited, but I do encourage you to subscribe and try it for all of your fantasy drafts. I think you will find it very useful. So let me just give you a quick overview of what this looks like. So here is the app. You have position filters here, so if you just want to look at quarterbacks or running backs or wide receivers, you can select that. And then draft mode, again, I said we're in a 12-team league, picking 12th. This represents every round of the draft. And, of course, in each round, we get to pick 2 players, which is kind of nice. And what you'll see here is this is all the players that should be available between our first pick and our first and second pick and our third and fourth pick. But instead of being sorted by its draft position, you are being sorted by value. All right, so you can see here that based on this value is a calculated number, so it's based off of the league point schedule times their projected stats. You can see that Julio Jones and Odell Beckham Jr. are our top 2 choices for value, both offering very good outlook. Obviously, Julio's reliability is not in question. Odell Beckham had that broken ankle last year, but he appears to be fully back at this point. And some of these other guys below them have issues. Dalvin Cook, obviously suffered a season-ending injury as well. Melvin Gordon will probably be gone. You can see his draft position is 9th. He will probably be gone by our 12th pick. But we also have Leonard Fournette, Michael Thomas. Looking at this list of players, I got to say, I would want to go wide receiver and a running back. And I think we could go very well by getting Leonard Fournette as our running back and Julio Jones as our wide receiver. So let's take a look and see how we're doing here. It's almost our pick now. So let's see. So Julio may or may not be available. We'll see how these players come off here in these last couple of picks. Oh, but Michael Thomas is still available. You know what? Michael Thomas. I do very much like Michael Thomas. Where is he? He's right there. And he's offering great value, 5-star ranking. So let's go ahead and we will take Michael Thomas. And is Leonard Fournette gone? It looks like Leonard Fournette is gone, but they left Melvin Gordon for us, and I actually, truthfully, like Melvin Gordon better. So we will take Melvin Gordon, and we will start things off. That's our first 2 picks, so that's pretty good. We got a nice long wait before our next draft pick. So let me just give you a quick overview here. So obviously we already talked about value, so we want high value. For outlook ranking, this is also a calculated number based on both positive and negative criteria about a player. Positive criteria add stars, negative criteria subtract stars, okay? So, and it's things that are mostly intangibles, their expected volume, the quality of their team, coaching changes, their reliability ranking, their consistency ranking. These things all add and subtract from the outlook ranking. So you want 4 and 5-star players. That's what you want to get. 3-star players are pretty much I'm neutral on, so I'm good with taking those if that's your favorite player. And I would stay away from the 1 and 2-star players. And you will see as we go farther along the list, there's more and more 1 and 2-star players. But what we're going to do now is we're going to click on the 3rd and 4th round to select our players. And you can see at the top of the list, we've got Demaryius Thomas at the top with a 4-star ranking and a really nice value. I do like the Bronco receivers more this year. I'm hoping Case Keenum is the answer at quarterback. I'm thinking he will be. He's obviously going to be an improvement over what they had last year. You got T.Y. Hilton here. Now, T.Y. Hilton's expected draft position is 34th, so he's probably not going to be available by the time it gets to us at pick number 36. So he is probably not going to happen, but I would love to have him, especially now that Andrew Luck is back and appears to be back to true to form. We got Juju Smith-Schuster, Larry Fitzgerald, Golden Tate. not a lot of running backs here. They're all ranked just farther down the list. See, the wide receivers are offering the best value, so they're at the top. But if we just filter for running back, there actually are some decent running backs. We got Derrick Henry, who has got a 5-star outlook. We got Ronald Jones, Rashad Penny, Jay Ajayi. These top 3 guys seem to have the best value. I would love to get Derrick Henry for our second running back, so we will wait to see on that. And maybe, let's see, any of these other guys. So you can look down here and you can see like Alex Collins, Lamar Miller, Mark Ingram. These guys don't offer great value relative to their draft position. So I like to stay away from them. I want value. Every pick in the draft, I want their value to be less than or equal to their draft position. So you can see here that these 3 guys fit that bill. The 4 guys at the bottom don't. So stay away from these overvalued players when you're looking at the draft. So we still have a few picks to our next draft, so I'm going to pause until we get within 3. All right, so we are closing in on our 3rd pick, and you can see here Demaryius Thomas may or may not be available by the time it gets to us. But as far as some of these other wide receivers, we're still going to have good choices at wide receiver. Likewise, I see Derrick Henry is down here, and as you can see, his pick 51, and is it a reach for me to take with my 36th and 37th pick someone like Derrick Henry? Well, I don't consider that a reach because he's going to be gone by the next round regardless. Now, Demaryius Thomas did make it, so I like Demaryius Thomas. He's my #1 value pick for this round. I will take him with my first pick, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Derrick Henry with my second pick, and that sets us up very nicely. So we've got Gordon and Henry as our running backs, Thomas as our wide receivers. I do like that, actually. That's pretty decent. So let's jump back to the app. And let's look at the 5th and 6th rounds and find our favorite players. So we will look here, and right at the top of the list, Royce Freeman. And I got to say, I do very much like Royce Freeman. We would be taking a second Denver player. If you're not comfortable with that, we've got Ronald Jones as a running back. Any other running backs? No other running backs are really offering value, right? So if we filter for running backs, you can see down here that you got Tevin Coleman and Rex Burkhead. Neither of these guys are offering good value relative to their draft position, so we should stay away from those players. But as far as wide receivers go, we do have some decent choices. Marvin Jones. I do like Chris Hogan with the Edelman suspension. Plus, Edelman's old, man. He's 32, and I'm just feeling that he's not going to be as good as he has been. Plus, he's a huge injury risk, right? So just stay away from injury risk players. But Chris Hogan could be very good. Robert Woods, I very much like on the Rams. So there are some good choices. And we can start thinking about maybe taking a tight end. We haven't taken a tight end yet. What tight ends are available? Well, we got Greg Olsen and Delaney Walker. I would be happy with either of those guys. So I think what we should do, if we can get them, let's get Freeman as our 3rd running back, and let's grab either Olsen or Walker as our tight end, and we're all set there. And I think we're sitting pretty heading into the middle rounds of this draft. So we still have a few picks. I'm going to pause until we get within 3. All right, so we're within 3 of our 5th pick, and you can see Mark Ingram is still sitting there. That would be awesome if he somehow makes it to our 5th pick. I would happily take him, even with the suspension. He's a great pick at the 5th round, and once he comes back from his suspension, he's going to be a running back 1 the rest of the season. So he would be an awesome choice. Of course, I do see Freeman right there, and we got Olsen right there. So if Ingram is gone, I'll take Freeman. Okay, Ingram just got taken, right? So here's what we're going to do. We will do what I said. We will do Royce Freeman, and we will do Greg Olsen. And, oh, I love this. I am loving this team right now. This is a rock-solid team. We've got a rock-solid foundation. And as far as quarterbacks goes, I have been waiting till at least the 10th round to take a quarterback. I think I'm going to even push it. I'm going to push it to the 11th round. You're going to be shocked at how you could still get a decent top-notch QB1 quarterback super late. You don't need to spend an early pick on a quarterback. Just wait on those guys. We obviously have a lot of time here till our next pick. So let's go to the next round. Let's go to the 7th and 8th round, and we will open up all of the players. And so you can see at the top of this round, we've got Duke Johnson as the top player of this round, which is interesting because his draft position is so late. I'm pretty sure we could wait until the following round to get him. Yes, we can. I would not pull the trigger on Duke Johnson this early. But look, we got Marshawn Lynch. We obviously are going to need another wide receiver. We got Garcon, Sanders, Cup, Devontae, boy, not fantastic options at wide receiver. I don't like Garcon because he's too old. Sanders maybe. Cup, I like that offense. Parker, I'm really not interested in. Oh, and Marquise Goodwin is down here too. I like Goodwin. I like him better than Garcon because I feel that Garcon is past his prime, and Goodwin did fantastic on that team, establishing his relationship with the quarterback. With Garoppolo, right? So I think that would be a good choice. I think we running back, let's grab Lynch. He should still be available. And wide receiver, let's grab Goodwin. If not him, Cup. All right. So what we'll do is we will come back to here, and we still got plenty of picks till our next turn. So I'm going to pause it until we get within. All right, we're back, and I was bummed out because someone took Goodwin before we could get him. I do see Cup still available, and let's see here is and Lynch, right? So let's see if Lynch is still available. Lynch got taken too. Man, that does not make me happy when that happens. So let's see. There could be some better people that have fallen. Crabtree is not someone who I'm interested in. There's Sanders. There's Cup. I'm gonna grab Cup with my first one, and then we'll filter for running backs. We'll find a second running back. All right. So we'll take Cooper Kupp. That'll be our first choice, and let's go to running backs. And CJ. Oh, you know what? Tevin Coleman is a great option here as the 8th round pick. I think that is a rock solid option. CJ Anderson, although I do love his situation, not optimal. Let's grab Coleman. He doesn't offer a lot of value. Even though I do very much like him moving into that Jonathan Stewart role on that offense, I just don't think that there's enough volume to warrant taking him as early as he's been going, right? That's what we're looking for. We want to get the right players at the right time. So let's move on to the 9th and 10th round. And again, we are not going to take any quarterbacks here. We're going to grab another wide receiver and another running back, and you are going to see that this is going to it makes your team stronger. Every single mock that I've done where I take a quarterback early has been at a disadvantage over the ones where I take a quarterback late. So obviously, I was talking about this earlier. Duke Johnson, I think he would be an awesome choice for our running back. I don't even think there's any other decent ones that would be available this late. Let's take a look. Jamal Williams, theoretic. Yeah, none of these other guys blow me away. I do like taking Duke Johnson, though. Let's take a look at the wide receivers that are available at this point in the draft. Now, Kelvin Benjamin, I got to adjust his outlook because he is going so late. And he is offering tremendous value. I mean, look at that. His value ranking is 61 versus an expected draft position of 121. That is worth something. I gotta upgrade his outlook ranking because of that. If he is available, I will certainly take him. If he is not available, I do very much like Kenny Stills as an alternative, again, offering great value. Why did I just pass over Randall Cobb? Cobb just hasn't been a factor since about 2014. He just has not been good enough. You can see his consistency ranking is very low. He has been reliable, but I gotta say, I wish I could believe in Randall Cobb, but I just don't. But again, this is part of the process, right? This is designed to give you the information you need to make these decisions on game day. So let's take a look. And really, truthfully, when I look at Kelvin Benjamin next to Kenny Stills, these guys are offering about the same amount of production. And Stills has an advantage in his reliability and a little bit better consistency. Nothing great, but we're talking somebody who we're never going to use as more than just a flex, as a flex option, bye-week kind of guy. So I think Stills and Duke Johnson are our options for the 9th and 10th round. So let's jump back here. We got 13 picks, so I will pause until we're within 3. All right, so we are back. We're within 3, so let's go ahead and cue these guys up. Duke Johnson. Oh, of course he got taken already. All right, and how about our other guy? How about Stills? Is Stills still there? Kenny Stills is still there, so let's go ahead and take Stills. And then let's go back and look at running backs. Kind of a bummer that Duke was already taken, but that happens. Come on, show it to me. Great. You know what? I'm going to take Stafford just because I don't want to get something happened here. We got lagged out. So let's see what they end us up with. All right, so he gave us Stafford. So we took Stafford around earlier than I did. But, I had to take something because it was just lagging out. It wasn't letting me look at who was available. Just look at the running backs real quick and see if there was anyone that was really particularly awesome. There wasn't. Theo Riddick probably would have been my choice as the alternative since Duke Johnson was gone. I'm not going to worry about it, though. So, we got our quarterback, and let's move on. Let's move on to the 11th and 12th round and see what we should take. So, you can see here that things are starting to thin out. There's not a lot of super great options. We got some injury issues, and Deshaun Jackson is just too old. Kenny Galladay, Alan Hearns, just not thrilled here with what we have available. Certainly, Devontae Booker could be a good choice. They're saying that he is going to fill in kind of a Duke Johnson role on that offense. And who knows, Theo Riddick might be available in the next round as well. That is certainly a possibility. None of these guys are just thrilling me. Let's take a look through here. See, you can see all the 1 and 2 star players are just nothing fantastic. You got Latavius Murray, who I do actually like his. I think he could be good, and I would love to take Donta Foreman, but I just can't right now because of his injury issue. But Latavius Murray has a contract year going on this year, and I think he's going to have a role for himself in that offense. Because again, Cook didn't even play in their preseason game last night. Latavius Murray played. All right, so to me, that's everything in the world. The fact that they're still keeping Cook out is a big warning signal to me. But we will just wait and see what kind of comes around here on the 11th and 12th round. And we have 13 picks, so I'll just come back when we're within 3. All right, so we're within 3 now, and as you can see, there's still Marcus Mariota and Patrick Mahomes and Andrew Luck available for my 11th round pick, yet I been able to pick properly on the prior round. That's why I'm saying you could just wait, man. I mean, these guys are all solid, and Andrew Luck, if he's back, he's a top 5 quarterback, no question. So you don't need to rush on taking a quarterback here. But let's go ahead, let's look at running backs and see who's available. We do have Theo Riddick still available, as I thought he would still be. So let's go ahead and take him. I do like his, he's got an established role in that offense. So I will go ahead and take Theo. And then let's look at wide receivers and grab another wide receiver. Galladay, Lee, Murder. All right, of all these, I think I would trust Lee the most. I think he's got a nice role in the Jacksonville offense, and sure it's Blake Bortles, but whatever. So I'll take Marquise Lee, and we are cruising along. We only have one more player pick, and then it's just the defense and the kicker. So we will pause until we get within. Oh, well, let's take a look. Let's see who's the best available player in the 13th round. According to and you can see that things do kind of pick up here. Look, we got Tyler Lockett. Now I gotta say, Seattle, for all its issues, right? They lost a lot of receiving prowess this past year with both Paul Richardson and Jimmy Graham. So someone's got to fill the gap, right? Tyler Lockett has always been a disappointment. But he's in a great position this year. He's in a contract year. The dude's going to be returning kickoffs and punts. He's basically the number 2 receiver on this team. He's got a good outlook, and he offers great value, right? High reliability. So I am thinking Tyler Lockett will be our final pick. You can see some other options here. Clay, the tight end. We don't need a second tight end. Devontae Booker, again, not thrilled. Montgomery, I'm just not interested in him at all, just because of his outlook, his consistency, his reliability. The guy's just not built to be, to be someone who can carry the load. Martavis Bryant, I was very big on, but he's been struggling in camp, and he's been called out by Gruden specifically. So he would be a good choice as well. I would have no problem taking Martavis Bryant. So I think we got Lockett and Bryant. Those would be my first choices, and you could always just also take a chance. I love the buzz on Cortland Sutton right now. I think he could be a very exciting player, and he could just become the red zone to go, the to-go guy in the red zone, and he's a rookie, So we're talking these guys are all virtually zero risk. But if I had to rank it, let's go Bryant first, Lockett second, and Sutton third. So we will go ahead and we will pause this until we get within 3. All right, we're back. We're within 3. And you know what? I'm looking at our lineup, and really I think we need to take one more running back, and I do see Samaje Perine is still available. I think he is a good flex option now that Darius Geis is lost for the season, and Chris Thompson is having trouble coming back from his injury. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Samaje as our final player, and it is going to come to us in a minute. All right, taking him, and then we are going to go to team defenses, and you can see here New England and New Orleans. I do love New Orleans. Their first 2 games of the season are extremely good matchups. Pittsburgh also, boy, there's some good options here. So you know what? I'm going to take Pittsburgh this time. I'll take Pittsburgh. Never take a defense or a kicker before your final 2 picks. It's just a wasted pick. You'll find really good options even if you wait this long, and don't even worry about missing out on something like on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm betting that they're not as good as fantasy-wise as you would hope them to be. So we are just going to wait for our final pick. We're going to take our kicker, and then we will come back and see what Yahoo graded us and how Fantasy Pros rated this draft. Thanks so much. All right, and we're done. And I was able to get Mason Crosby with my final pick of the draft. So let's review what we have. So for our quarterback, we got Matthew Stafford. For our wide receivers, we got Michael Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, Cooper Kupp, Kenny Stills, and Marquise Lee. For our running backs, we got Melvin Gordon, Derrick Henry, Royce Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Theo Riddick, and Samaje Perine. And our tight end is Greg Olsen. Our defense is Pittsburgh. This is a pretty dang solid team. I'm very happy with how this turned out. So let's see how Yahoo rated us. All right, so I just opened our Yahoo draft grade. They gave us a B plus on this team, and Fantasy Pros went ahead and ranked us 4th out of 12, which is good enough for the playoffs. That's what you want. Great place to start out for the season. I think this is a very solid team. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope you saw the value with how we utilize the app to find the best players at each round. Really, it only happened a couple of times where someone was selected very early and blocked us out of our #1 choice. But you could see how I hope you can see the value in what the app provides and the information it gives you, so you can make those critical draft day decisions and draft the right people at each and every pick of your draft. All right. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And again, happy drafting. Have a great day.